All right. Try this again. Make sure the video is on here. Let's see. Okay. Now, happy Sabbath to all those keeping unleavened bread today. I did Passover for the first time last night, and this is the first time for unleavened bread. So, not going to go too much into... Oh, I'm Lee. For anybody that doesn't know, good to meet you. Not going to go too much into this. It's well established Enoch scripture. He gives us the calendar. So when Enoch's taken out of scripture, we no longer have the biblical calendar, right? And it makes sense. I mean, wouldn't our Father in heaven give us a calendar to go by? Well, he did. Enoch. So, chapter 72, I'll go over this quickly. Just go down to the bottom, and this right here, the day and night, where's it at? Yep, so equal day and equal night, and the year is exactly as to its days 364. That's the end of the year. Equal day, equal night, end of the year. You go back up here, and it gives you the beginning of the year. So I know it's kind of confusing. It took a long time for me to understand it, but it tells you the sun's course, and it gives you, and this the very beginning of the calendar, it tells you the course of the sun. People skip right over this and go to the moon. Okay, the sliver, it says the first month is the sliver, and they ignore the sun, the stars completely. The sun's given first. It's the greater luminary. See? Great luminary, the sun. The moon and the sun are equal in size, but the sun's the greater luminary. And all through Scripture, it drives the day, it drives the month, it drives the year. So this is the first thing I started to understand. Praise Yah. But you'll see here the beginning of the year. That's after equal day, equal night. The next day, 6 portals in which the sun rises and 6 portals in which the sun sets, and the moon rises and sets in these portals, and the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead. So you see here the stars do the exact same thing. And I struggled forever to try to figure out the stars. And I still don't completely understand the moon, but that's a whole nother issue. 6 in the east, 6 in the west, all following each other in accurately corresponding order. And also many windows to the right and left of these portals. And first, he tells you, first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun. That means that starts the calendar. And his circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns to the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal or gate and shines in the face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the 4th portal. In that 4th portal from which the sun rises in the first month are 12 window openings from which proceed a flame when they are open in their season. When the sun rises in the heaven, he comes forth through that 4th portal 30 mornings in succession and sets accurately in the 4th portal in the west of heaven. And it tells you, during this period, the days become daily longer and the nightly shorter to the 30th morning. And you'll see that the pattern repeats. It's 30, 30, 31. 3 months. First quarter. Second quarter. 30, 30, 31. Same thing. 30, 30, 31. 30, 30, 30. Perfect. It's not like the moon. 28, 29. All over the place. So you got to build on a solid foundation, and this gives a solid foundation. Sun, stars. We'll see that next. So Enoch chapter 73, and I'm going to deal with the Sefer, and translations say the moon and the stars. Then it gives you, after this, I saw another law dealing with the smaller luminary, which is named the moon. It gives you all the moon stuff, right? Saw another course, a law for her. It tells you the moon. And this right here, if you check the Dead Sea Scrolls, and this is a pretty good translation. I don't think it has everything in it, but it's got a lot. And it shows you that a lot of the moon's course and how the moon moves is missing from the Greek and the Ethiopic, but the Dead Sea Scrolls give you a full description of the moon's course. And they kept track of the moon too in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Levites. So it tells you everything the moon does. And it's a lot. But you'll see right here in Enoch chapter 74 that he's got, and the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly. Bam. So they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity. Eternity. But complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. And he goes on to tell you the days for the sun and the days for the moon. And the moon falls behind. I mean, it straight up tells you the moon falls behind. And the years accurately completed in conformity with their world stations, that's the stars, and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun rises and sets, 30 days. It tells you straight up. Now people will say, oh, well, my translation says the moon and the stars bring in the years exactly. Well, you see, I got that translation too. And it's like the KJV. There's good stuff in there. There's a lot of errors in it too. You got to know where the errors are at. Okay. It's still a translation. It's not the original Hebrew. If you look in here, R.H. Charles, sun and stars, perfectly. If you look in here, Charlesworth, he keeps it as they. So it's kind of obscured what the meaning is. But he does tell you in the footnotes, if you go down to the bottom, that even though he's got it in his translation, they, you can look down at the bottom here, and it tells you the different manuscripts say different things. Right down at the bottom. See? And those are copyrighted, so can't use those very much. Just a brief reference. See, the Sefer uses those Nib, Lawrence, and it uses some of Charles because those translations are not copyrighted. They're late 1800s, early 1900s, right? So they don't have any of the new material in there. Same thing with this. They use R.H. Charles because it's not copyrighted. They don't tell you that newer manuscripts in the Dead Sea Scrolls correct some of the readings. This is a newer translation. It says sun and stars. This right here. Ethiopian Bible. It says sun and stars. Joseph Lumpkin. It says sun and stars. The only one out of all these books right here that says moon and stars bring in the year perfectly is the Sefer over there that uses Nib and Lawrence, where they translate it moon, and R.H. Charles corrects it as sun and stars. All these translations of Enoch say sun and stars, not moon. And you'll see here, I tried to point it out to Adam, love brother Adam, at Parable of the Vineyard, but he went here, and then he went down to, there was a note on there that said amended. It's amended because he fixed the other inferior translations. So out of all of these, the only one that says moon and stars is Sefer. So if you want to follow that, you can follow that, or you can test it. And owing to them, men go wrong therein, for those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, And then it tells you, so that's the extra day per quarter. One in the first portal, one in the third portal, one in the fourth portal, one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. That's the stations of the stars. All right. So, all right. So let's get over here. Just wanted to give that a little explanation so people kind of understand what's going on here. All right. So you see the sun rising here? All right. So we're going to go back. This is Stellarium. I left a link. Anybody can use this. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but you can look outside and see if it corresponds or not. But you'll see here, as you go back the days, all right. So the rising of the sun, and the sun's between the two constellations right here, right? As the constellation, I'm going days here. This is different days. All right. So if it's all the same day, the constellation's moving with the sun. All right. So if you go over here, so go back. Now we're going each individual day. All right. Try to follow along with me. So as we get, this is March, day 14, day 15, day 16, day 17. All right, it's in the constellation here, right? So it's going to stay in that constellation all day, but each day it's going to stay in the constellation. Day 20, day 21, day 22. This is sunrise, day 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. See how it's staying in one constellation? 30, 31, April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. See? It stayed in the constellation an entire month. Just like it says, the sun rises and sets through a portal, right? So now in this portal here that the sun's coming out of, we've got another constellation coming out, just like Enoch said. The stars come out in 30 days and they set with the sun. See here? So the sun stays in that constellation the entire day, right? Perfect. The constellation rises with the sun and sets with the sun. But on the next day, I know it's hard to wrap your head around, but on the next day, so day 23, see, it's rising with the sun, but the sun's staying in the constellation for the entire month because the constellation is moving with the sun. See? Day 24, day 25, day 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And this is the Roman calendar days. The month would begin with the sun rising, with the constellation rising, and staying in the constellation for 30 days until the next constellation rises, and the sun rises and sets 30 days. Different portal. Some months it stays in the same portal. But every time the sun and the stars, see the next constellation coming up? Different days. If I could zoom in a little bit, but see that's coming up on June 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. See, it stayed in that constellation the entire month. That's what Enoch's talking about, with the sun and the stars bringing the year in perfectly. Certain months it'll stay in 31 days, or that's the leaders of the days. I don't completely understand that either. Don't claim to, but So you can kind of get, there's the next constellation. Yep. And you see, go back here. So the sun and the stars are pretty stable. They do exactly what they're supposed to do every year on time. The moon here, if you want to watch the course of the moon, let's see. Here's the moon. Watch the moon. This thing is down here. It's going down, right? Going down. Yep, and these may be the leader stars. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but you'll see that star right there. They call the planet, it's a star. See the moon going down? So that's the sunrise, but the moon's going the opposite direction. See the moon's still, it's going over there, and then it's going over here. Let's go back to sunrise here. The moon, where's it at? It's still going backwards. At some point, you'll see the moon turn around and go the other way. And it rises with the sun. And I think Enoch chapter 72 or 73, it says at the beginning of the year, it rises with the sun in the fourth portal. So you'll see, there goes the moon cross. And then going across, let's see, it's crossing the sun. And it should, see here, it should come back at some point. It's going backwards again. Still trying to figure out the moon. That's just, it goes all over the place. Yep, going backwards again, going down. Yep, and you see this, this is the sunrise because in the east, what is it? Japan, land of the rising sun. In the east, the Orient. Garden of Eden in the east, right? These are things that we can see with our eyes, but we've been taught to deny our eyes and believe the science. Enoch tells you, and you can look and see with your eyeball what's going on. With your eyeballs. Not by eyeball. But yeah. I think that, see, there's that other star they call a planet. I got a good feeling that these right here are those leaders that Enoch talks about. Part of chapter 82 is missing. But you can see it. For sure, the moon rises in the east. Well, I'm not talking about the moon right now, but anyways. So I just want to make that short video. Kind of help you understand what the stars are doing and what the sun's doing. You can't ignore the sun. You can't ignore the stars because they drive the year. Then you understand the moon and what it does. See, let's go to Jubilees 2 before I finish this out. Give another witness. It says it a couple of times in Enoch, the sun goes out first. I think it's, hit this first, 48. Yea, before the sun and the signs were created, constellation before the stars of heaven were made, right? Let's see. Where's it at? 47. 43 probably. 43. Let me look it up right quick. Hopefully I explained that good. Son, Enoch. And the Sefer even contradicts itself. If you look at Yep. See, it tells you in 72 in the Sefer, the first law of the luminaries, the sun and light arrive at the gates of heaven. Tells you. 50. Sun goes out first. There we go. 41. 41 in the Sefer, the sun goes out first. Tells you right there. So it disagrees with itself. 41. Yep, so here. After that, I saw the secrets of heaven and how the kingdom is divided and how the actions of men are weighed in the balance. And there I saw the mansions of the elect and the mansions of the holy. Where did we hear that before? Messiah. And mine eyes saw there all the sinners being driven from thence, which denied the name of Yahuwah of spirits, and being dragged off, and they could not abide because of the punishment which proceeds from Yahuwah of spirits. And there mine eyes saw the secrets of the lightning and of the thunder, and the secrets of the winds, how they are divided to blow over the earth, and the secrets of the clouds and dew. And there I saw from whence they proceed in that place, and from whence they saturate the dusty earth. And there I saw closed chambers out of which the winds are divided, the chamber of the hell and the winds, the chamber of the mist and of the clouds, and the cloud thereof hovers over the earth from the beginning of the world. And I saw the chambers of the sun, portals, and the moon, whence they proceed, and whither they come again, and their glorious return, and how one is superior to the other in their stately orbit, and how they do not leave their orbit, and they add nothing to their orbit, and they take nothing from it, and they keep faith with each other in accordance with the oath by which they are bound together, their orbit or their path. So one is superior to the other. Then he tells you, and first the sun goes out forth and traverses his path according to the commandment of Yahuwah of spirits, and mighty is his name forever and ever. And after that I saw the hidden and visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes the course of her path in that place by day and by night, the one holding a position opposite to the other before Yahuwah of spirits. And they give thanks and praise and rest not, for unto them is their thanksgiving rest. For the sun changes off for a blessing or a curse, and the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous, and darkness to the sinners, in the name of Yahuwah, who made a separation between light and darkness, and divided the spirits of men, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous, in the name of his righteousness. For no messenger hinders, and no power is able to hinder, for he appoints a judge for them all, and he judges them all before him. Jubilees. Even Genesis tells you. We'll go to Genesis right quick. I mean, it's all over Scripture. The sun drives the day, and I've already made a video on that. Genesis 1:16, and Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. See? Greater light to rule the day. You don't get done with your work day and come home, and then the sun's going down, and you go, it's a great new day. No, you get up in the morning. It's a great new day. It's not hard. We've just been taught to not think. Let's see, angel. This here, Jubilees 2, written by Moses. So here, on the third day, he commanded the waters to pass off from off the face of the whole earth, into one place and dry land to appear. And the waters did so as he commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth into one place outside of this firmament, and the dry land appeared. And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separate gathering places, and all the rivers. Hold on, I'm on the wrong day. Fourth day. All right, third day. On the fourth day he created the sun, the moon, the stars, and set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Sabbaths, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for jubilees, and for all the seasons of the years. And it divideth the light from the darkness for prosperity, that all things may prosper which shoot and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day, right? It tells you straight up in Jubilees. And it tells you in, where's it at? Jubilees 23. 23. Yeah, Jubilees 23. And they will strive one with another, young with the old with the young, the poor with the rich, the lowly with the great, the beggar with the prince, on account of the law and the covenant, for they have forgotten commandment and covenant and feasts and months and Sabbaths and jubilees and all judgments. How'd they forget it? He took the calendar away. He kicked them out of the land. He took Enoch. He took the calendar. And they will stand with bows and swords and war to turn them back into the way, but they will not return till much blood hath been shed on the earth, one by another. So they will not return until much blood hath been shed on the earth. They're going to forget the calendar, and then they'll return. So here we are at the end of the days. Praise Yah for giving it back. Daniel 12. And talks about great tribulation and Michael. Resurrection. Daniel closed the words and sealed the book to the time of the end, until many are taught and knowledge is increased. When the dispersion is ended, they shall know all these things. Why do we know it now? He tells you. But unfortunately, people are stuck in traditions and stuff. Evening to evening. Judaism. Moon for month. It rhymes, so it must be true. No. All right. Well, you can search into it some more. I don't understand all of it. But you can clearly see that it stays in a constellation for a time period, and then it moves to the next constellation day by day. And the reason the sun's going down there is the days are growing shorter. So you got to adjust the time. But you'll see it. See it's staying in the constellation. New constellations coming up. Different gate. See how it's over here? It was over here. Moving to the next constellation. I'm not sure how to determine when it leaves a constellation and when it goes into a constellation, but I know that the constellation stays there for like 30 days. See? And then the next one comes up. Boom. There's the next one. And then it goes. Sorry for the sound effects. And then boom, it's in another one. And then another month. Boom, it's in another one. Going through. Now see, you got to try to figure out when it leaves. See, there's one right there. So it looks like it goes into that one. Right? So it goes into that one when it leaves that one. 30 days. Depends on where the boundaries for the constellation is, but it still does. And then after 30 days, boom, it's in another one. So this one to this one to this one. And it's interesting how the modern zodiac, these birth signs, kind of correspond to the months. The Roman months, they're off, but see, it stays in that one. And then boom, it's in another one. And then goes down here, boom, it's in another one. And then it stays in it the entire day. But you can't see the stars during the daytime. But it stays in it, and it goes, and it sets. See? Boom. And then it goes back around. See, this is the part we can't see. It's still staying in the same constellation, but it's coming back around. Boom. Sunrise. Stayed in the constellation the entire time, the entire day, and the entire month. And then coming out, boom, another constellation. Exactly. Just like Enoch said, the sun and the stars bringing the year perfectly. Going down, boom, another constellation. Going down. Let's see here. Yep. Boom. Another constellation. And the moon's just going whoop, 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 all over the place. Another constellation. There's another one. See, it's main. They've got all of these highlighted. See, they got mapped out. That's the pagan. See, they got their pagan god up there. All named after, heathen gods and stuff. There's Aquila. But you'll see the ones the sun stays in, that's the main 12 for the 12 months of the year. And that people say, oh, there's 13 months. We got to add a month and take away a month. Enoch never says to add a month and take away a month. 12 manners of fruits. Revelation 22:2. In the midst of the tree of it, on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruits, 12 months, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for healing of the nation. Let's see here. Blue letter. Rev 22. Wrong one. Two. Yep, 12 manners of fruit for 12 months. Yep. So, all right. Well, I guess I'll get off here. So, I hope that was a blessing and helpful to you. Test everything. Let's go to that here. As Paul said, 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Hold it fast. Grab onto it. Messiah said, the writings of the rabbis even tell you they came from Phariseeism. And what did Messiah say? Matthew 16:12. Then understood they how that he bade them not beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And if Messiah said beware of the doctrine of the Sadducees, then that's not referring to the Dead Sea Scrolls, Levites, Zadok, because he just said beware of their doctrine. So the Sadducees is a different group. And he said here, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. They add to the word. they change it. And also Acts 17:11, these were more noble than those in Thessalonica in that they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched these scriptures daily whether those things were so. They tested what Paul said. They went to their Bible and tested what he said. So, all right, that's all I got.